What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? We're a little late today, so I ain't gonna let the whole song play out. Well, that was almost the whole song, but anyway. Don't be laughing at me, y'all. Good afternoon, everybody. We are here. Y'all know what we do here on Thursday evenings. Okay, this is the third week in a row, so y'all know what the routine is now. I have my boy Yarrell with me. YahCraTes. I'm sorry, YahCraTes. My bad. LilBaby. I was running late, so LilBaby probably didn't get her email till late. I'm sure she will be here ASAP. So we're gonna get started. Let me say some highs and some stuff like that first. So we have L Love, of course, my boo Abby. Abby, I gotta call you too. Been a crazy day on this side of the world. Belize Finest, Patty Duke, Lock Queen, Alikala. What's up, Brandon? Hey, DC, my legal correspondent is in his house. How y'all doing? Hey, Bap, how's everybody doing? What do you think about having a surprise party for giving you the Real T's birthday over here with Kahudi and all the Just Us friends? Well, I don't know how much of a surprise it's gonna be now, but but I'm definitely down.
What you could have done is you could have read it first, acknowledged it, and then
I know, but you know what? I have a bad habit. I had to listen. Belize had to break me out of that habit because I would start reading something Belize said, and I'd have to stop in mid sentence and be like, "See, Belize." So I really should know better. All right, y'all. So listen, don't nobody say nothing. Shh.
Oh, wait. Or what can happen is you can just go back in after this live is over, find this part because it's in the very beginning, and just snip it out.
You assume I have editing skills, okay? I know. That's something I said I had to work on.
Jada, I'm just trying to help.
No. That's a good suggestion. And I'm not saying I won't do it. Jada was trying to give me some lessons. And then I think he got frustrated with me and was like, I ain't doing this shit. Hey, Dominique. Hey, Boo. I ain't seen you in a while. Hey. But yeah, so a couple of quick announcements. First of all, I have a really quick unboxing. It's not a lot. I got me a new Avon box. And I just want to show you guys the things that I bought because I don't know if y'all know this. Y'all know I said I was going to start doing an item of the week. So these are going to be my items for this week for y'all to get caught up. We are still in the midst of a pandemic, okay? As much as people want to act like we not, we are, okay? We are still in the midst of a pandemic. So what I ordered today, I have been ordering my hand soaps from Bath & Body Works. Y'all know I've done my Bath & Body Works unboxings before. But now that I'm selling Avon, I'm going to buy them for myself. So Avon does have hand soaps. This comes with, it comes with the thingy-mabob to put on it, So this scent is vanilla, which I love vanilla. Vanilla is my favorite scent of everything. Like, I love the vanilla. Y'all know I love the vanilla roll-on from Nadia. So this is vanilla. And this is an oldie but goodie of Avon. This is a cucumber melon, okay? It's a cucumber melon. Avon cucumber melon been around for a long time. The other thing I got, I don't know if you guys know this or not, because heck, I ain't know. Avon sells masks. They have a pack of masks. I think this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a pack of 5. This thing was leaking in the box, y'all. Hold on. That vanilla was leaking. I got it all on my hand. The mask it was a pack of 5 for I think it was $11, I think, for the 5 masks. Which is about $2 a mask. They're the kind that you can wash. They have the adjustable ear things, so you can adjust on your ear. And it has the slits on the side for you to put your filters in, which you should be using masks with the filter, which I ain't going to say I've always done. But now that I have these masks and I have got some other masks that have the little slit on the side for you to put the filter in. So, and they have different colors. They have all different colors. This is gray, but they have all different colors. And I wore one today, and it was really comfortable, and it covers up. It does a good job. Okay. Because I had bought a lot of masks, and then, I done washed them so many times and stuff like that, child. The elastic's getting, you know, the elastic wearing out on them and all kinds of stuff. So, all right. You know what? Not the collection plate for Bolo to appear. I ain't doing this with y'all. You know what? I'm mad that you can't find the whiskey section on the Avon website. I'll be sure to send an email and asking where the whiskey section is. Okay. You can use the coffee filter. It works the same. Thank you, O Street. Thank you. I never thought of that, but we got plenty of coffee filters because I got 2 coffee drinkers in the house. So we definitely have coffee filters. Okay. So I had to do my little due diligence, y'all. So y'all going over to Avon and put in some orders now. Y'all going over there to the Avon. Okay. Y'all sending money to the Bolo Collection Fund, but you can send it to my Cash App. $ really be the podcast. Okay. Y'all make sure he get it.
The debauchery of it all.
So, y'all, we are here for our live review. I was trying to stall to hope LilBaby got in here, but she'll jump in. She'll get in when she finished. She'll get here. Last night's episode, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was more entertained with the guys. That little poker fight was funny to me.
Well, I mean, the guys really don't take themselves too seriously.
It was clear. So, it was clear that they were just
the only time that something crazy happened, and you know, again, had you watched the reunions, you might have saw one of them. But when Marge's Joe got into it with Danielle and they friend, and both Joe and Marge pushed him into the pool, that's about the most didn't really happen with the men. That and the 2 Joes, so Joe Gorga and Joe Judice fighting about a good 2-3 times on the show, but that's about it.
Okay. Well, it looks like we're revving up for the men. Gonna get into it later on. Look like it's some stuff going on with Joe, but we start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning and work our way back. So the ladies are still down to the Lake George. I will say this: it doesn't look like they are going to drag out this Lake George situation like they did down to the Atlanta, where they was down in South Carolina for 20 weeks. Because we went through a whole day and a half in this episode. You know what I'm saying? And in the first episode, we had them getting there, going out to dinner, and all of that. So the ladies, were they still at dinner that night? Did we finish up with dinner? I think it was the next day. They were having breakfast. Yeah, it was the next day. Okay. Next day they were having breakfast and they're going out on a boat. And so the ladies are just cooking breakfast. Again, hey, what's up? It's Tabitha. How you doing, babes? I feel like again, I hate to compare the different franchises, but I like when I see these trips and I see the ladies cooking, and you know what I mean? It's not always a catered event and a private chef. Like old girl was straight up, probably had a whole dozen eggs that she had scrambled up and was like, I'm making scrambled eggs for whoever wants some. Okay. Yeah. We see the ladies doing their own makeup, doing their own hair. Now that doesn't mean that they don't have a glam squad and all that, but you know, Haku, I'm sorry, y'all know my brain. Love Haku is probably one of my favorites from Avon. Anyway, back to this. So I really am enjoying that. I feel like that's what I'm sort of missing, because y'all know I look at Beverly Hills and them hoes fly. They fly their glam squad first class. Like Erica Jane flies her glam squad first class.
You sound jelly.
I'm a little bit. I mean, let's be clear. Let me say this to all y'all right here. I love each and every one of y'all. It is 37 people in this room right now. I love all 37 of y'all, even the ones that's up in the skybox. Okay, let's be clear. But this what I need y'all to know. If and when I get to that point, and I'm going to claim it, because if Ebby was on the panel right now, Ebby would say claim it. So I'm going to claim it. When I get to the point where I have my own personal glam squad, they flying first class too. I'm just saying. They going with me. They going with me. If I'm in the front of the plane, they in the front of the plane. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I'm jealous in a good way. Like I'm jealous, like I want to be like you when I grow up jealous. But I don't want to be like Erica Jane jealous, because she about to go to jail.
I thought it was her husband that's about to go to jail.
She gone with him. Didn't Teresa go to jail when Joe went to jail?
Well, that's because Teresa was signing documents that she didn't know about. She just ignorant. She signed.
That's what Erica Jane is saying. That's what Erica Jane is saying. That she ain't know that the business was that all of it was the shell company was in her name, but she ain't had nothing to do with it. Girl, listen, your name. Hey, Reese's Pieces. That's my baby. Soap Wash. Hey, boo. Hey.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't follow pretty much any celebrity like that. You know, that I like the shows that I review. I don't follow them on social media or the stories that relate to them. So right. I have no idea.
You want to really focus on the story in front of you.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, plus, and I mean, I don't really like. I like them, but not like that to be like, ooh, let me see what they posted on Instagram. No.
But you know what? I think, and I'm going sideways a little bit. We'll get back to this episode in a second. But I think that's something that people who watch our reviews sometimes get frustrated with the reviewers because they do. And it's like, if we don't incorporate all that's going on social media into the review, then they get frustrated. And the thing is this, I am reviewing the show.
Yeah.
You know, if I start bringing in everything that everybody has going on, that's why I do this. So that we can talk about the gossip. So we can talk about what's going on the blogs and stuff like that. But when I'm watching the show, I have to review the show.
But you know, like sometimes I'll stumble upon the information, whether it be just me going through social media or somebody doing, you know, like a trending topic show on their channel, and I catch it. But when I do, it upsets me because in watching it, like with Kenya, one of the last things that I saw is her and Mark were together, all hugged up, taking pictures. So when I'm watching Housewives of Atlanta and I see her going through the BS, it's kind of like, I don't know if I could really sympathize because I know the last thing that I saw in real time is y'all hugged up. So
right. So that also is true too, because when we do see all of that, like for example, and we're gonna get back to the show right now. Let me just say this: 90 Day Fiance. Now, my people done got me watching this 90 Day Fiance show, right? Well, Sherelle's World and stuff like that, they talk about what's going on like in real time, and I've stumbled into some stuff that I know where these couples are right now. And it sort of takes away my enthusiasm for the review because I'm sitting here, they got into this big fight. She threatening to go back to the Ukraine and she told him she threw the ring in his face. And then I read, I see a video, she's pregnant and they got married. I'm like, well, hell, ain't no need me even talking about them the rest of the season because I already know they're married and she pregnant, you know? So sometimes y'all won't get the same level of a review if we know too much. But anyway, let's get back to this. Last thing I'm gonna say. Soap and Wash, you guys, one of my mods, can y'all drop his YouTube channel? He just started a YouTube channel. He just did his first live earlier this week. Y'all go show him some love, please. Go show him some support and some love. Soap and Wash comes through, you know. I think a lot of times, you know, he comes through. That's my boo. He comes through. So y'all go over there and y'all check him out, you know. We gotta support each other around here. Okay. So the ladies are at breakfast. They're going on a boat ride down to the tiki boat. Now, I like the tiki boat. It looked like it was going to sink, but I know it was supposed to look that way. But I like the tiki boat. Go ahead.
Because you skipping over some things. Now you skipping over some things.
Go back. Rewind me. So I got sidetracked. You know my ADHD. Bring me back. So
them at breakfast, you know, one thing that Teresa said is that, you know, she apologized to Jackie and now she wants an apology. And for all intents and purposes, she did say, I apologize.
She did say she apologized. I will give you that. When they flashed it back, because y'all know Bravo good for the flashback, she did apologize.
No. She didn't apologize. She just said in a sentence, I apologize. She didn't give her an apology.
Right.
She just said in a sentence, I apologize.
For some people, that's all you're going to get. That's
facts. But then she says she expects an apology. I'm like, okay, well, if you get one, which I highly doubt Jackie will give you one, hopefully she give it back to you just like you gave it to her. And then Dolores. I had choice words for Dolores last night on my live. I really did. Because I like Black Dolores, but she's starting to piss me off. Because she going to say that Jackie is reacting way too much over this rumor. But had she been told the rumor, went to Evan, confronted him, and he said, yes, it's true, then she should have all this anger. And it's like, ma'am. And I said to Marvin last night, like, look, you need to be worried about everything but this situation. You need to be worried about why your ex-husband and your son is living with your boyfriend and you not living with your boyfriend. You need to figure out why is it that every time you show up to a function that your ex-husband is with you and not your boyfriend. You have many other things that you need to concern yourself with, but what's going on with Jackie and Teresa is not one of them.
Well, she's definitely Team Team Teresa. She's clearly. Well, see, I don't, I'm just learning these people, but she is definitely Team Teresa. So Tabitha said, who apologized? Okay, so she didn't get the kind of apology that I would accept, but in Teresa's mind, she apologized. Teresa said, I thought about it. I ain't calling her because I apologize. And when they showed that clip, she told me something, well, I'm sorry. I was like, girl, but I will. But here's my problem. And again, we can beat this dead horse. You keep acting like you went to Jackie and Jackie's upset now, but that is not what happened. You went to everybody except for Jackie at her husband's birthday party. Like, it's not. Anyway.
Okay. Well, and what on the buzz, I mean, they pretty much talked about how all of their spouses / significant others should not be drinking with Joe Gorga, because they get Gorga. So, I mean, hopefully they gave you enough of flashbacks to see that Joe know how to drink and other people end up throwing up, getting carried back to their rooms and all that other stuff.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely got a wooden leg. He definitely got a wooden leg.
I would like to drink with Joe. I'm just saying. Listen, I can toss a few back.
I used to be able to. I think in my old age, I'm losing a step. But baby, I used to be able to hang with the best of them, baby.
Okay, well, you can go ahead and talk about them. I guess they did lunch first, and then did they do the boat?
Yeah,
so it's all the same thing.
Lunch first. They did do lunch first, and at lunch, I feel like they talked. I feel like they somehow brought Jackie up again. I don't know.
Okay, well, Teresa had this is something I had to expound on my review, and I'll let you in on it. So Teresa is talking to her realtor about selling her house.
Yes. Okay. So no. Okay. That's okay. You're right. All right. Now, so is she selling the house because she has to?
I don't know. It could be financial, but the thing that got me is season 1, she made a big deal about not staying in a house that somebody else had previously lived in, that she was dead set on building this house from the ground up because it's pretty much cleaner. There is nothing else that's in there. So my question is, so are you going to have a house built from the ground up, or are you just going to move it to somebody else's house that you was dead set against season 1?
I think she's selling this house. I don't think it's so much financial as it is the divorce. Like because of the divorce.
Could be. But obviously, I don't think we're going to get a lot about what's going on with her and Joe, because it seemed like within the last 3 episodes, the most that we didn't heard is he's now selling sex toys. That's the most that we've heard, but we haven't heard nothing else. So it seems like everything else is going to be a storyline, but that which really should be a storyline. So, but that comes up, the women start talking about, schooling their kids, the birds and the bee talk. When they first,
how do you feel about that? I think that's and I know it's parenting, y'all. I know it's all individual, but how do you feel about the Melissa saying, the girl name is Melissa, right? Mm-hmm. Melissa saying, listen, my parents ain't talked to me about it and I did fine, versus I think you should talk to your kids, versus no, I shouldn't tell my kids. Like, how do you feel about that conversation? Just out of curiosity.
I'm going to agree with Melissa. And because they even try to do the whole, in modern day, we now have the internet. I am 34 years old. I'll be 35 in December. When I was growing up, we had a hot box and we had all the channels. And let's just say I was introduced to the female anatomy very early on in my life. And I even had it to where I had the previous channel be something like Disney or whatever. So in the event somebody happened to open
it that real quick,
hit that button right quick. But
Oh my gosh, I used to do that too.
But the thing is, neither one of my parents ever had that talk with me. I never had it, period. So, and I stumbled upon it, hey, the channels were there. So now that you have the internet and children can be exposed to this at an early age just by randomly looking, you probably should have that talk with them. And it's best that you have it than, the teacher do it if the teacher still do it, or they just find it, by themselves. So I think that they should, but again, I don't have kids, so who am I to say?
A hot box beliefs is like the version of a jailbroken fire stick. It was a cable box with that gave you that unscrambled the channel. Because back in the day, if you didn't see, nowadays they just black the channel out. But back in the day, if you couldn't get that, if you didn't pay for that channel, it would be scrambled. So you could like look sideways and all that. So a hot box was like it unscrambled the channel. So you had access to the channels you weren't supposed to have access to. Yes, we were sneaking to watch that Cinemax, honey.
I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest with you.
Listen, I'm on the fence with it. I didn't really get that in depth of a birds and the bees talk either, and I somehow figured it out my damn self too. I do think. I do think that there needs to be a conversation as it relates to especially more so boys than girls. I do think there needs to be a conversation about what they're seeing when they're looking at porn, because you look at porn and it just gives you certain impressions about sex that just ain't real, But anyway, we could do it after dark and have a whole conversation about that.
I won't be here, but okay.
That's right. I forgot you don't do that. I feel like there needs to be some basics given. I don't think that parents should totally just pretend like it don't exist and just be like, oh well. No, I think a conversation needs to be had. Now, how deep you go and how much you say, that's a whole nother conversation. But I do think a conversation needs to be had. Okay, moving on.
All right, so they had that talk. The women talking about when their first time was, with the exception of Dolores and Teresa, because they're old school, so they're not going to have that conversation. And Jennifer, and I think that's more cultural. Or she didn't want to bring that up. And then Dolores brings up how now. See, I pay attention to what people say. She said she would be scared when she used to leave her men when she would go out because she was scared that they would cheat on her. And Melissa says that's where she's at right now, where, if she says she's going out with the girls, Joe will, respond with, well, I'm going out with the guys. Trouble in paradise, maybe. I'm just still stuck on so Dolores. I ain't finna slut shame you nothing like that, but so you had plural people. Oh, okay, all right, okay.
Listen, that whole situation just confuses the hell out of me. But
what, her throuple?
You like it, I love it. Okay, if you like it, I love it. Okay.
You talking about her throuple? That thing?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and listen. If it worked for y'all, who the hell am I? If it works for y'all, as parents, when you want to talk to your children versus their parents, like that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a conversation, but I just think how deep you go, I just think it's just relative to age and all that stuff. I absolutely think parents should have a conversation with their kids. I don't think you should have your kids out here just being totally ignorant. But but again, I don't know how I feel about. I don't know. I just feel like I learned stuff in layers. I don't feel like my mother sat down. I remember my mother sitting down and talking to me about the birds and the bees, but she gave me some very basics. And I think as I got older, I got layers. The layers were added. But I do remember I went to Catholic school and we learned it in school. So.
Okay. So then we get, I didn't write down the details, but I just surmised it on my sheet of paper that Joe was at the strip club some way, somehow. Teresa joined him, or maybe he invited her. That was interesting. Then Melissa called him asking where he was. He lied and then told Teresa, don't tell my wife where we are currently right now. Okay, whatever. And then this turns into, I forget which lady said it. Hold on, did I write it down? Because one of the ladies said it. Don't matter. One of the ladies said you should get Joe back for snitching on you by calling him and telling him that Melissa is out here cheating. Now, first and foremost, Andy, fuck you. Because you had us believing that it was some ish all for us to get this. So fuck you on that. That's one. Number two, this shows you just how easily Teresa can be persuaded to do some real shady, shicey stuff.
How well she can lie, because she kept going with that story. I mean,
but
that story just had layers to it, and she had to be.
It had layers because she'd been wanting to do this to Melissa for a hot while. That's what it was.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, but keep talking. I gotta go off screen for a second, but keep talking.
Okay. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I think it's a dangerous game, though. I think it's a dangerous game when we start playing those infidelity games. Especially like one of the ladies said, especially when we in the midst of this whole kerfuffle with Jackie and Teresa. But it was funny. Joe was funny. He was like, I'm with the kids, and how he handled it. It was hilarious to me. Honey, he started talking Italian. Okay. He was like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. He started talking Italian. But I do feel like, I thought it was funny. I just, like I said, I don't know how I feel about playing these infidelity games, because it can go left real quick when you start playing them infidelity games. But they didn't let it drag on for too long, so
which is good. But see, this is the other thing that I don't like, because I'm a fan of what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I believe this, because my thing is Teresa was so quick to do it, but how would she feel if somebody called her and mentioned her Joe was doing X, Y, and Z?
She probably would have tried to throw somebody overboard.
So, well, okay.
Yeah, like I said, I thought it was funny. I'm glad they didn't let it drag on too long. But like I said, it's a thin line when you start playing those infidelity games. I don't know. And like Melissa said, look how fast he believed her. Look at how fast he believed her. So him and Teresa get to speak in Italian. So I know Joe is from Italy because that's why he got deported. Are they originally from Italy as well?
If I'm not mistaken, their parents were, but I don't think that they primarily were from there. But yeah, Joe Giudice, he was definitely born in Italy.
Got it. Okay.
So then after all that's done and Teresa done told he'd been punked, they get back to the house. Melissa's a little tipsy, stumbling over herself.
Melissa was a lot tipsy. Hell, okay. I mean, I don't know what kind of drink. How long were they on that tiki boat? Because they was towed up. Did y'all freeze up, or he just ain't moving? I think he froze up. He froze up. Is it me or is it him? Y'all know sometimes I got to see if it's me or him. Oh, just the parents. Believe said just the parents. Teresa and Joe are first generation Americans. But they speak Italian and Gia understands. Are we back?
I know I got kicked off. I don't know if you got kicked off.
Well, it gave me the little message saying something about the connection is unstable. Y'all, let me know if we back, y'all. Let me know if we back.
Because I'm just like, okay, they don't want us to be great. Okay.
Okay, he froze. I'm good. So we good? Okay. All right. Just making sure. Okay. I think, but it was me that kicked you out because I got the little message saying that I was something.
Okay.
So something happened. All right. Thank you, Cameron.
All right. So they're back. Melissa and Joe have a little conversation. So they clear all that up. Joe is concerned about Jackie. And Melissa wants for him to invite Evan to their little guys' night out, to ring him back in. Joe says, well, he called him and Evan said he was busy. I don't think it's necessarily that he was busy. I think that he probably just didn't want to do the whole camera situation. And I take it that he's probably trying not to give it more light than what it already has. But unbeknownst to him and Jackie, a lot of light was shined down on this thing today. But anyway, well, last night's episode, I should say. So That's all done. So Jen is talking with Dolores, and she reveals that not Melissa. What's the girl name? Michelle. I believe her name is Michelle. Teresa's realtor came and told her that Joe Gorga, Melissa's husband, owes her husband a whole lot of money for a project that they worked on, and even mentioned about Joe doing fake house flips and renovations.
Yes, they said that he was posting stuff that he ain't really do, and the man called him out. I said, oh.
And then you have Jennifer saying she doesn't know if she should tell Melissa because they just got cool. Now, I didn't say this on my review, but here's the real. This is a conversation that really you really don't need to be involved in, because if this didn't happen, I'm pretty sure Michelle already told, what's the girl name? Teresa. So Teresa should probably bring that to her brother. But if you feel so inclined, you probably should be like, look, this happened. But see, here's the other thing that really be getting me. I know we producing a show and everything else, but if it was this important for you to share this, why you wait for the cameras to roll, Michelle, to want to bring this up?
Well, let me say this. It's a couple of things. So, all right. One, yes, for the purposes of the show, we know what we about to get. Now, in the real world, without cameras, first of all, that's not something you need to be gossiping about. Like, if it's a business issue, then you need to handle it on a business level.
Talk with your lawyers, your attorneys.
Right. We owe you, and you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars. That's a lot of money. That's not no small claims court type situation. So let's be clear. That's. But for the purposes of the show, do you think she told Teresa, or do you think she just waited to tell the other chick because she knows that Teresa is like family? Like, I mean, do you think she would have told Teresa?
Honestly, I don't. It depends on the timeline. It depends on the timeline of when this happened, because if this happened when she was still on the outs with her brother, then I believe that she would have taken that information in. If it's, I guess, current time where her and her brother are cool, probably not.
Right. Now, OST says that Melissa was supposed to be a full-time housewife this season. I'm thinking that maybe either she was downgraded to friend of the show because of circumstance or because of COVID. So
maybe she didn't give enough.
Maybe she did,
because they do bring on women, and you know it's not until maybe halfway through the season or whatever, or halfway through filming before they actually put out the first episode that they really confirm who is and who isn't a housewife. So could be that.
Lord, the man stole from the Home Depot. Why are we stealing from the Home Depot, Joe? Joe. All right, Joe stole.
Now, one thing that I did want to make mention of, because I feel like I'm gonna have to keep my foot on both Teresa and Dolores' neck, because Dolores is pissing me off. But Dolores gonna say that if it was her, she would want to know if Frank was out here, you know, doing some crazy stuff. And I'm like, so you want to know if your ex-husband is out here doing something crazy, but not your boyfriend? Okay, good to know. Did anybody else catch it, or was it just
You know, I'm still learning all these people's names. I don't listen. So Frank is the ex-husband. I thought Frank was the boyfriend.
Nope, Frank is the ex-husband. David is the boyfriend.
Oh, David's the doctor. Frank's the one that messed up his legs.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, got it. I didn't catch that. I really did not catch that. Maybe she meant when we were married.
Okay. If you want to believe that, okay.
DC, well, now DC brought up a good point. DC said because that's her business partner, so that's why she will want to know. Listen, I'm just saying that makes sense, though.
No,
business partner.
Look, I'm just gonna say, yeah, they are business partners, but this is the same business partner that doesn't tell you about certain things going on, don't consult with you when he's doing certain type of renovations. But okay, all right. Do you?
Cameron said he was stealing stuff off the trucks. Now that is so. Listen, that is very mafia of you. And that what they used to say, it fell off the truck.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing. I ain't touching it.
I'm just saying that's what they used to say. It fell off the truck.
I ain't touching it. So I'm gonna let you take the reins of the men's night out. or do you want me to keep on narrating?
Well, okay, because the reason why I let you take the reins, because one, you write down your notes, I don't, and two, you're learning me some things. But I'll say this. So the men got together for poker night over to Joe's house. Now, Frank was there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Joe was there.
Mm-hmm.
What's the face's husband? The plastic surgeon, right? Isn't he a plastic surgeon?
Plastic surgeon.
The doctor.
Oh, Aiden. Yeah.
Is he a plastic surgeon? I thought he was a plastic
surgeon. Like that. I don't be caring that much. But Jennifer husband, yeah, Aiden, him.
So Aiden was there, and then the fourth person that was there was
Marge's husband, Joe G.
Right, Marge's husband.
Joe B. Joe
right.
B.
Now Marge's husband said that he don't miss her at all. He said he is fine. She could stay away a little bit longer.
The messed up thing is
she can stay away a little bit.
They're having pure, man talk. It's just I guess he was hoping that probably wasn't gonna make it on the editing floor, but it made it to the final cut.
Yes, I think sometimes people just be, because you know what, Khloe Kardashian said that a long time ago. She said after a while you really do forget the cameras are there. Like you really, if you do it for so long, like, and you get into a conversation, you really are just having a conversation. But anyway, and I think that might have been one of those moments where they really are just having a conversation. Now, first of all, can I say that I appreciate this basement that Joe is living in? I appreciate the wine room down past the wine room to the left. I said, damn, is it a basement or is it a cave? What the freak? And
some of them have wine rooms. I mean, if you go back to season 1, at least, I forget the girl name. I think her name was Jen, but one of the girls, her husband, they actually had like a wine cellar and everything where they would do game night. I'm just like, oh, this is good. This is some good living right here.
Well, on the Real Housewives of Dallas, the new chick on there this season, the Dr. Tiffany, her basement, like, okay, her husband, they own a winery, a vineyard, whatever. They had their own wine company. So in the basement of their house, they went so far underground for the wine cellar that one side of the basement is just clear glass, and you can see the rock, and you can see how far underground they went. You can see, like, you know how the different layers that you can start seeing of the rock. It's beautiful, but I was like, bitch, what? Like, it is that far down. But they own a wine company, so, but it is beautiful. Anyway, all right. So, yeah, so the guys there, first of all, is Frank the punk of the group? Because first they had the man eat the wasabi and tore his sinuses up. Then they made him eat the worm from the tequila bottle.
I'm not going to say that. What I'll say is that's just him and Joe's relationship.
Okay.
I mean, because if anything, Joe B would be the punk of, Joe B would probably be the punk of the group if I had to pick somebody.
Okay. All right. Now they did talk about this whole.
That's who it was. Jacqueline. Thank you, Cameron. It was Jacqueline. Thank you.
Jacqueline.
I couldn't think about her name for nothing. Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Cameron. So they did talk about this whole Jackie Aiden rumor situation. Now, for the purposes of the camera, they were very PC about it. They was like, we don't believe it. We don't think it's true.
They gonna pay for it.
After the cameras left.
They gonna pay for it. No, I'm serious. They gonna pay for that.
Why? Because they said they didn't believe it.
No. Okay, first and foremost, Frank was the one that wanted to know. Which, okay, because I think he was trying to exonerate his friend, because he even said in his confessional, the times we went out, he never did nothing crazy. Okay, cool. But then to have everybody go across the room, like, okay, well, who all thinks that he's faithful? That is kind of like that's shady. And then when you get to Joe B, I really hope you were ever cool, because he gonna say, so, well, I'm 99% on it, plus it's women coming in and out of my house. Translation, Marge's friends come in and out the house all the time, and they don't know how to whisper. So he didn't heard some things.
Yeah, he did put that out there. Now he did.
I'm like, oh, what? So pretty much this went from a rumor Teresa because I told y'all I don't think Teresa made up. I think production told her that. But now this went from one person saying something about it. Now we have a whole nother person. And if you use your blues clues, your context clues, that means Marge knows about it too. And she was just trying to play dumb when Teresa brought it to
her. Okay.
So that's why I was like, that whole scene, I was like, oh, that was way too sticky. Like that should have been off the camera.
That's what I'm saying now. The conversation that they had when the cameras left, I'm sure was a very different conversation. And then Joe punked them and told them about the whole, Melissa was talking to some dude down at the restaurant and it was cute and it was fun. But let me tell you something. I was here for the poker night. I was telling y'all earlier that I think just like they get ready to do like a all-star situation where they taking women from all of the franchises and putting them in a house for 2 weeks and just filming it. I think they should do that with the guys. I think they should get some of the best husbands / boyfriends from across all of the franchises and send them on a guys trip. Like had them going camping or something, doing some very, I'm gonna be very stereotypical when I say this, doing some very manly things. Let them go camping, let them do some whitewater rafting. You know what I'm saying? Let them do some very manly things. And I mean, of course they got to do it, glamp it. They can't like rough it like that. But, have them go on safari, but at one of them like 5-star resort safari kind of thing. You know what I mean? I think that would be hilarious. But moving on. All right. So while the guys are having their poker night, the ladies are back at the house. And like I said, we already talked about the fact that Melissa is letting the chick letting everybody know what the realtor has said Jennifer, what the realtor has said down to the Joe ain't paying his bills situation. The ladies decide to order in. They're tired, they drunk, they hungover, they whatever. And so they decide to order in. So they Melissa and Marge ended up going outside and they called Jackie. Now I told y'all what my prediction is. My prediction is that Jackie gonna end up down there at some point. That's my prediction. My prediction is that they're gonna ask her to come down because Teresa's ready to talk and they're gonna try to get that's my prediction. But they did call her and basically they were like, listen, what do we need to do to fix this? Like, what is it that we need to do to fix this? And Jackie was like, well, Teresa need to call my husband and apologize. And they were like, that's never gonna happen. I love how they were like, Melissa was like, okay, so that's never going to happen. So what's your second request? Because that's not going to happen.
Now with that, I said in my review last night that I understood why she said it, but that's a very sticky situation because in general, and like I said, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of women in the chat. You can probably, I guess, agree or disagree with what I'm about to say, but most women don't like to talk to men, especially if it's going to be a situation where it's going to get elevated, because you see a lot on reality TV shows where they make it clear that a man should not be talking to me. You don't talk to me. You talk to my husband. You address my husband, or whatever the case may be. So I think that's going to be a real sticky situation, even if she did agree, because she could easily play that card and play it up like, he's being verbally aggressive towards me and woo-wop woo.
And after seeing how Teresa carries herself, I absolutely can see how that could go left. I definitely could see where Teresa could make that go left. I agree. And I feel like, again, yes, the rumor was about him, but he's not your friend. She's your friend. So I feel like it should stay between the two of them, honestly. If there's going to be a conversation, whatever that conversation is going to be, it really should stay between the two of them. That's just my 2 cents, y'all. That's just my 2 cents. Do I think Teresa, at this point, owes, because then they were saying, well, can you just take back the analogy? And Jackie was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that either, because it was just that. It was an analogy, to prove my point. I never said her daughter was doing drugs. It was just an analogy.
But even with that, do you see how quick it went from, okay, well, can you just, even though it's like, so you really want her to sit here and eat, crow, but y'all not finna do that to Teresa. And I think that was so in addition to her saying it was an analogy, I also think that it was also her saying like, okay, I'm not finna be the only one to sit here and, try to play the, okay, I'm sorry, I was wrong tip.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they absolutely are trying to placate her. Like, they absolutely are trying to figure out a way to help Teresa get past this. And it's like, what is it that we need to do to get Teresa past this? That is clearly what's going on here. They end up sitting down for dinner and they bring it up. We call Jackie. This is what Jackie wants. And once again, Teresa is like, that's not going to happen. I'm not doing it. Dolores was even like, yeah, well, I feel like Jackie would I feel like Teresa would, would apologize if Jackie would take back the analogy. And Teresa was like, no, even if she takes back the analogy, I still ain't apologizing.
But Dolores also said if it was that big of a deal for her and if it hurt her that much, she shouldn't have a problem with just saying, you know what, I take it back. And it's like, when I tell you I was so through with Dolores this whole entire episode.
Yeah, because Dolores even said, well, if it's not true, what's the big deal? And I'm like, come on, people get upset all the time over shit that ain't true. You putting stuff out there about her husband. She has a right to have a problem with it.
And even with these shows, and if y'all don't understand, when people do these shows, by the second season, maybe third season, people are inboxing them. Hey, I know this about this person. I know this tea on that person, giving themselves to bring to the show. And many of them just never take the bait. So there's always a rumor out there. It's just,
that's true.
Are you really going to go with it and spew this information? And if you really, an adult about your ish, why can't you say who told you? Just be like, you know what, this person told me, and just hot potato it and move the hell out the way. I keep telling you, production did it.
Well, but I agree with you that a lot of times people, and I've heard other reality stars say that, listen, people come up to me all the time trying to tell me stuff, and I just don't entertain it. So it's not uncommon for conversations to be had, whether they're real or not. It is not uncommon for it to happen. And so I absolutely remember that. Now, O Street brought up a valid point. She said, listen, yeah, Jackie said, but Jackie did not go from person to person in a room full of people saying she saw your daughter doing drugs in the bathroom, but she don't know who told her. So again, it's still not the same.
But look, Teresa is like a dog with a bone. I mean, that's literally what this is. Yeah. And I mean, if we go and what I want everybody to do is when we get to the end of this season, outside of them trying to hook Teresa up with a man, let both myself and Really B and LilBaby know what was her storyline this season. And when we get to the end and y'all can't answer the question, this lets you know why she's not letting it go. I told you I've been watching reality TV way too long. I'm sorry. I can see bull BS. I can see the forest for the trees.
Yeah, and at the end, hey Dominique, and at the end of the day, once again, Teresa gets upset. She's like, "Listen, I'm tired of talking about this. Y'all getting on my nerves with it. All of y'all can go to hell." And then Dolores was like, "Me too. Why she say it to me?" And who was it? Melissa was the first one to run upstairs, and then Dolores. Who ran upstairs first behind Teresa? Was it Melissa?
Melissa was the first one, and then Dolores and Jen came in afterwards, and then shortly thereafter, the rest of them came up there. So all they did was just coddle her, which I was so upset about.
Basically, yeah, and again, it's and that's why I say I feel like the next thing is, Teresa, will you have a conversation with her and they're going to call her to come down there? Like, I really feel like she's going to end up, especially if this is going to drag on another 2 episodes.
Well, Teresa had even said, how about I just leave and y'all invite her down here?
Right.
I mean, we shall see. And honestly, like, I don't care if they stay, at Lake George for a whole nother 7 episodes. Like, I mean, they're all in the same room. Minus one person. Which is fine. I'm just tired of hearing this one particular storyline drag on and there is no possible resolution in sight. Because again, this puts me back in the mind. I know we don't like bringing this up, but Real Housewives of Potomac, where we have the Candace and Monique fight, it happened around episode 9-10 and literally drug all the way until the reunion. Like, we heard about it every effing episode. So I hope that ain't the case with this, because Look, I ain't did a review for Atlanta in like 2 weeks. I don't watch it, but I ain't did a review. All right, Jersey, play with me if you want to. I'll come up here and do a review, but I might not do one on mine.
Hey, Auntie. Hey, Danny. How you feeling, babe? Text me. My thing is this, and this is how I feel about it. This is how I feel about the whole situation. I said this because they do this on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills every season. For like the last 3 seasons, they have done this. They get one thing that happened and they drag that shit out for the whole season. Now I understand that we had the whole Bolo thing down to the Atlanta, but it looks like from the trailer they dropped for the second half of the season, it looks like we move on to some other things. You know, I don't have a problem with something being a storyline for a couple of episodes, but what we're not gonna do is talk about this for the. I'm not now that I ain't doing. I ain't talking about this for the next.
But even if it's something that they stretch out over, let's just say 10 episodes, as long as we're not literally beating the same exact horse, like if it's elements being added and
right.
try to have a conversation, then they went to fisticuffs and now is this over here, that's right. Fine. But if it's the same exact, because we got the same exact thing for the past 3 episodes, no resolution, no nothing.
Because last season on Housewives on Beverly Hills, it was the whole Denise Richards thing. The season before that, it was the dog thing. Like, I'm not doing this. You know what I mean? Like, because I promise you, you said you binge watching the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. When you get to that season, you'll know what season I'm talking about. They literally, the whole season was about a dog. I'm not exaggerating.
Oh yeah, with Doree and
Doree and Lisa and Kyle, and now granted, yes, they did add some other elements, but at the root cause.
Yeah.
Listen, the people who was following me, who was watching my reviews, then I said, listen, y'all, I'm not gonna keep talking about this damn dog. I'm just not.
But you know,
I really didn't give a damn about the dog no more.
It wasn't really the dog for me. It was just more or less Lisa. Because Lisa really loves to make somebody pay for something where you need to literally go through all 12 stages of hell before I can even remotely be cool with you yet again. It's like, okay, we get it that you were the supposed queen bee. Now Kyle is not a queen bee, but it's just like y'all do it too much.
I mean, I'm waiting for. We should be getting a trailer pretty soon with Beverly Hills. I know they're done filming. And now that we're about halfway through Housewives and Dallas. Dallas was on episode 8. Housewives is on episode. What episode was this week? Like 8 or 9, something like that. So we're about halfway through both of those. When does New York start?
I haven't even watched any of New York, so.
Okay. So. I'm feeling like we should be getting a trailer for Beverly Hills pretty soon. I feel like because Beverly Hills, the time slot for Beverly Hills was Salt Lake City. It came on at 10 o'clock, I think, on Wednesdays.
But see, I think I'm a feel ways because pictures surface on social media of Kyle and Fancy hanging out. And I'm like, I don't know.
I know that they were filming. Supposedly, I think they're done. I think they're finished filming for the season. But I think I saw some pictures from the cash trip, the final cash trip, which I saw those pictures a few weeks ago on scrolling through the gram. Yeah. Oh, I heard the same thing. Kathy Hilton. I think the best thing they did was bring Kathy Hilton on, honey, because Kathy Hilton is the only one that can keep Kyle in line. And baby, I heard that's a whole situation.
Well, I mean, Garcelle was able to sit here and check Kyle because it was many times she'd be like, "I'm still talking." Ooh, okay. Like she'll get hit him with the 1-2 right quick, just like, "Excuse you." Okay.
Oh, Fancy kept them together last season. Now Fancy started getting on my nerves towards the end of the season because I felt like, but I was here for her having Denise's back throughout. And when Kyle tried to throw that mess at her at the reunion, talking about you pledged money and never paid, Fancy was like, hold on. I'm calling my business lawyer right now because that's not true. She was like, what you not gonna do is lie on me and try to put it out there that I don't pay my bills. No, ma'am. And by the time they came back from that next, commercial break, she said on December the 13th, that $100 or $1,000 was sent to you, ma'am. So you might want to check with your people and your accountant because I got it right here. We sent it. I said, I know that's right. You better get Kyle together. Because I had a problem with her trying to put that out there. Because, again, that was strictly vindictive. That was strictly on some get back shit. And I ain't trying to turn this into a racial thing. But I'm like, it just don't look good that the only black woman on here you accusing that don't pay her bills. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
But I just found it to be funny that happened. And the next thing we see is pictures of those two out shopping and whatnot. Now, if it was for a scene, okay, cool. But I'm just like, okay, very convenient.
It was probably for a scene. I ain't gonna say I'm sure of it, but it probably was. Absolutely, yeah. Kathy Hilton, yeah, that's the bad blood. Is that allegedly Mauricio stole when he left Kathy Hilton's husband's company to start his own company. He stole. I'm glad, Yana. He stole a lot of clientele. So that's what the whole tea is with them. And, Kyle and her sister haven't really been getting along since Kyle did that TV show, American Woman or whatever it was called, that's loosely based on their childhood and their mama. They wasn't happy about her putting their mama business out there. So it's going to be, I'm here for it. Well, y'all know I do Beverly Hills anyway, child. I'm here for Beverly Hills. Cameron. Who else quit? Dallas. I know Tiffany said she's not coming back, and I know Brandy said she's not coming back. Who else done quit down to the Real Housewives of Dallas? Yeah, I think, yeah. Kathy Hilton was one of the first ones that they went to. Absolutely, she was. Because let's be clear, ain't nobody know who Kyle or Kim was, but everybody knew Kathy Hilton. I'm just saying. Yes, thank you, Yana, for your support. Yana said she got her Avon today. Thank you for your support. It is so appreciated. Okay, we're gonna. Yeah, Tiffany said she wasn't coming back. Tiffany said that earlier. I read that a couple of weeks ago that she wasn't coming back. Listen, I like Tiffany. I don't like the way Tiffany talk. I need her to. She has that whole Valley Girl thing going on, and that irritates my soul. That whole talking in cadence thing. Well, I really would like to go to the store more often with my children. But, that irritates my soul. Oh my God. When she talks, I like her, but when she talks, I really be like.
Well, tell us how you really feel then.
I don't know. You know what? That's a good question, Brandon. Dallas may not come back. I don't think Dallas has ever picked up the momentum. I don't think they picked up the momentum, and this season is not that great. I'm going to give part of it to COVID. They had to, switch up filming because of COVID, and I'm going to put part of it on the fact that they lost Leanne. As much as Leanne irritated people, and I'm one of those people, Leanne irritates my soul. Leanne is good TV. I mean, she kept shit going. She's good TV. Leanne is the Kenya of the show. She's the Giselle of the show. You know what I mean? She keeps the shit going. So with her not being there, and she's the one that everybody loves to hate. So that helps too, because you kind of need that person on the show that is the scapegoat for everything that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And Leanne was sort of that for the show. But anyway, so with Leanne not there this year, but I will say this. No, not like Nene. Just see how he be just dropping out the clouds? No, not like Nene, Jonathan. Not like Nene.
I'll be right back.
God damn. Oh, wow. Okay, Danny, I just got your text. Okay, baby. You can't get into New Jersey. I like New Jersey. I definitely. I mean, of course, every week I'm learning a little bit more, but I do like New Jersey. Right. The Mexican comments took her from villain to racist. But you know what though, O Street? For people who were watching Dallas before, taking the Mexican comments out of the conversation, because that was a bit much. Okay, she went too far. But was she wrong about Carrie? Now that Leanne isn't there to be the buffer, was she wrong about Carrie? You see what I'm saying? Now everybody's going, Carrie's a bully. Carrie's this. She's so aggressive. She does this and she does that. But see, last year when Leanne said all of that, ain't nobody want to listen to Leanne. Now she did go too far with the whole Mexican thing. That was a bit much. That was a bit much. But her point, was she wrong? I've been watching Dallas since day one too. You know, the other thing that's missing this season is fun Brandy. Brandy was the over the top, do too much party girl, always says the wrong thing at the wrong time. But after she got caught up with the racist comments last year, she's so yeah, I'm gonna I don't think I'm gonna have any more to drink tonight. I'm kind of.
Are you still talking about Dallas? I thought you were talking about Beverly Hills. I'm about to be like, I can't stand that Brandy. My bad. Okay.
No, Brandy Glanville, I can't stand her.
Okay, all right, never mind. That's why I was making a face. She's like, really? That okay? My bad.
Brandy on Real Housewives of Dallas. She's fun. You know what I mean? That she does do too much, and her humor is very raunchy. She's got that very like, I'm gonna leave plastic poop on your pillow on the cash trip. Like, that's her kind of humor. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's her kind of humor. I'm gonna give somebody a dildo at the dinner table. Like, she has that kind of humor, but it's still in good fun. Like, it ain't hurting nobody. It might embarrass you. You might not like it, but it ain't really hurting you. It's not with any malice behind it. Brandy is the I'm gonna get drunk and stand on top of the bar and pour shots. That, you know, I'm gonna do the Coyote Ugly. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get white girl wasted and just be over the top. Thank you, Yana. Yes, honey, for another Avon order. Thank you, Avon.
I was so mad that they brought Brandy back for Beverly Hills when she had to, you know, bring out what her and Denise did, and it's like, damn it, Brandy. I just can't do Brandy, and I felt like she was overacting. Like, oh my, I'm scared. I don't know if I should say it. Oh my gosh. But you were already mic'd up. It wasn't like you came there and you weren't mic'd up at all, and they had to put a microphone over to catch what you were saying. Baby, you was already mic'd up.
I know for me, Brandy Glanville is the dirge of society. Like, she is the shit that you wipe off before you walk into somebody's house. I cannot stand Brandy Glanville.
You know what? What I'll say is, since you like I said, you're still getting caught up with Jersey and everything, Jennifer has certain tendencies that Brandy has, where she'll say or do something and then it's okay, I'm sorry, and you're always apologizing and you're always doing something, yet it seems like you're never learning. So it's always, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry, and you get mad when no one wants to accept your apology because you're always doing something that's just over the top. So that's just a little tidbit.
She did that whole thing to Denise last season, just trying to get back on the show, and at the end of it, you still didn't get back on the show. You know what I mean? Like, you did all of that just to try to get your little diamond back, whatever it is they have on Beverly Hills. I agree with you 100%, O Street. I'm not saying that Leanne needs to come back. I'm not even saying that Leanne wasn't wrong. All I'm saying is, yes, the whole Mexican comments were wrong, but her saying that Carrie is a bully and her saying that Carrie, you know, is this, and that won't wrong. Because now we're seeing it. Now that Leanne is gone, now all the other girls are talking about, oh, Carrie's a little pushy. Oh, Carrie's a bully. Oh, Carrie's doing this. Oh, Carrie's doing that. I'm like,
now there is something that I do want to say about Brandy, because, you know, Cameron went ahead and, you know, pulled her whole facts right quick. But with Brandy, I would like Brandy more if she just stood in her ish.
Yeah.
Real talk. Yeah. Like, because again, I understand when you feel that you are backed in the corner and it's either fight or flight. And I've said it many a times, my mouth is real reckless. I got a clip with damn near everybody that has no name on it. So you say what?
Your mouth is reckless. No.
Yes. And if you say the wrong thing, like if you catch me on a good day, like I said, I will ask you. You just purchase a ticket, for this performance. Are you sure you want a refund? You catch me on the wrong day, you ain't even gonna get that. I'm just gonna haul off on you. But see, the difference between me and Brandy is if I said something, even if it was some of the most vile stuff that I could ever say, well, I'll take accountability to that. Yeah, I said it. I ain't taking it back though, because in the moment I said it, well, yeah, I said it. Brandy's like, okay, well, I'm sorry. And then you do something else along the lines, maybe to a different person. That's what I don't like, where it's just like, it's always something and it's always an excuse. Well, they were yelling at me. Well, they were hanging up on me. Well, this was said. And well, I just had like, I'm like, okay, Brandy, I can't with you.
Yeah. Brandy Glanville. See, I took a break from Beverly Hills. I watched like the first 2 seasons, maybe 3, and then I stopped. And part of the reason why I stopped was because of Brandy. She was part of the reason why I was like, I cannot with her. And I wasn't reviewing shows and stuff back then, so I just tuned out. I was just like, I can't with her. Like, I just can't. She was just, I couldn't. So
blame Brenda for that. I
put some of it on Brenda. I'll put some of it on Brenna. Of course, some of it was production driven. We know that production, we know that. But I'm gonna put some of it on Brenna, but I'm also gonna put some of it on Brandy, because Brandy was the one that took that whole story to production about her and Denise having this threesome behind her husband's back, and she took that story to production. I blame Brenna for going so hard with it and not having Denise's back when Denise was her friend. That's the part I'm gonna put on Brenna.
Yep. And what is
Brandy took that story to production.
What's weird is like with a lot of these shows, they bring somebody young. Oh, if this is my friend, knowing no damn well you don't know them from Adam. But when it comes to this show, Denise actually did have 2 friends on the show, Renna and Garcelle. And Garcelle was the only one where she's like, okay, well, if she said it didn't happen, it didn't happen. But then she would talk to her on the side, like, okay, well, did it really happen? But not gonna sit here and put on Front Street in front of everybody else. Like, that's what friends do.
Right.
You know, to quote, Auntie Dion, that's what friends are for.
Right. And let's be clear, I said it during the season, and I'm gonna say it now. I think something might have went down. I don't think that Denise is innocent in this, but I will say that the way it was done, I didn't really appreciate. I wasn't here for. Now, I don't think Denise is 100% innocent in this whole situation, but I don't think that I just don't like the way it was handled.
I don't like how she played her hand in it, because I mean, it's real simple. Like, they ask you a question, okay, no, it didn't happen. Well, Brandy said this would have been me the whole time. Yes, waiter, can I get the calamari? Yeah, I want the calamari special. But Brandy said, oh yeah, can I get me another Long Island iced tea, please? Yeah, Long Island, no ice. I want it straight. Yeah, That would have been me. Like, I've already given you my answer. I'm not going to respond anymore. I just said what it is, rather than her doing, because she showed y'all what they do on reality shows, where if something is happening they don't want to hear, they'll yell out something that breaks the fourth wall so they can't use that foot.
Right.
And I was like, oh, come on now, Denise. Come on.
I didn't have to leave it in. They were like, we're not going to let you, because that's what she was trying to do, was ruin the
and they showed her right quick. Okay, we got something.
Like, we just going to break this fourth wall because we using this footage. No, ma'am. Here's what my issue was. And I said this all last season. I guess, listen, they must be getting ready to drop the trailer, because we just spent 15 minutes on Beverly Hills. It must be coming. It's coming. I feel it in my bones. But if you watch my reviews from last season, here's what kept pissing me off. Just own it, Denise. Just own it. And it was almost as if y'all automatically assuming that Brandy's telling the truth and Denise is lying. And every time Denise said, no, I didn't do it, no, it didn't happen, instead of, as her friends, at least giving her the benefit of the doubt, it was, Denise, just own it. Denise, just own it. And she was like, what the fuck am I supposed to be owning? I told you it didn't happen. So what do you want me to do if it didn't happen? What is it that y'all want from me? And
that's the other piece, though. The other thing is, this shows you when stuff like this happens, if something scandalous comes up, especially if someone doesn't have a storyline, what is the first thing they're going to do? Attach themselves to that story. Because really, what did Lisa Rinna have going on last season? Like, let's really be honest.
Not a damn thing.
Exactly.
Can we talk where's Harry? Can we talk about where Harry is? That's the storyline. Where is your husband? That's the storyline, ma'am. Because what I don't want is another season of you and your daughters, and this is no disrespect. I'm not making fun of mental illness at all. But what I don't want is another season of you discussing your daughter's mental issues. Not yours, not you and your husband, but your daughter's mental issues. Because here's what I'm never gonna do. Well, never's a strong word, but here's what I couldn't do last season. I could not feel sorry for Amelia. And that does not mean that Amelia did not have legitimate issues. But when y'all sat there and pulled okay, so she left school because of anxiety. I get it. You brought her closer to home. I get it. Then y'all moved her into her own apartment and she had a list of demands. It has to have this and it has to have that and it has to overlook this and the sun has to come in from the east and I have to have heated floors. I was like, girl, that's not anxiety, that's spoiled. So
I would have just been like, I hope this little I think they had what, like some type of business venture. I would have been like, well, I hope your business venture finna pay for it because I ain't paying for it.
Child.
That would have been me.
So anyway, y'all, let's get. We done went. You know, we didn't have no Salt Lake City to talk about today, so I guess we just brought in some other housewives. I'm gonna just start putting in other housewives at the end of the title.
I just want to say right quick, since we having the discussion, I was so like, when I tell you I was so disgusted and so upset with how they did Yolanda, her last season on. I was so.
You know what? That's when I wasn't watching, so I don't. All I know is that her and Lisa Rinna fell out. I wasn't watching it then. I don't know the whole story. What happened?
Long story short, she had Lyme's disease, and I guess by the time they found it, there were other. I guess it had gotten to a certain point, and she was going to various doctors trying to figure out what was wrong with her. And apparently, allegedly, someone said to Lisa Rinna that she had Munchausen, which is when so that whole thing, and then her bringing it to the group. And their whole thing is, well, how is it that, you know, you're sick, but then you're posting this type of picture right here in your social media, you're sending mixed signals. And it's like, why are y'all stalking this woman's social media? Like, again, y'all don't have a storyline to first. And it's and the way they preyed on her.
That's not how it works.
And then mentioned her kids, because she said her kids have Lyme disease. So then you had Lisa Vanderpump go to Muhammad and mention it, and he was like, no. And Yolanda, whole thing is, you really expect this man here to really know about their medical records when I take care of my children? She even came to a lunch with Lisa Vanderpump, had her children's medical files in hand. Do you want to read them? Since you think I'm lying about them having Lyme disease, like, it was just, they were getting her on every front, and it was just so very disgusting, especially when you watch it back. Like, we're watching it, and then watch it back. Like, I'm like, I hope y'all feel bad, because that woman was really going through it. And then at the very end of it, her husband decides that he wants a divorce. And that comes out at the reunion, because he spent the last year and some change, you know, tending to her when he's used to being tended to. So not only did she have to deal with this whole season of y'all making her health issue, you know, something more than what it was. Now, in the midst of it, now she's also getting a divorce. And I think that's why she didn't come back to the show, because she didn't want to discuss the divorce. She wanted to keep her relationship with her current husband or ex-husband. She didn't want all that. I just don't like how they did Yolanda. And that was nasty. That was disgusting. That was vile.
The chat agrees with you. The chat sound like they are agreeing with you. They said they are bullied up.
They did. And the messed up thing is, because she was sick, she wasn't. Had they got Yolanda before she was sick, Yolanda would have went toe to toe with them in their faces and everything else. But you know, when you sick, you don't have that extra energy to give to the BS. So it's one thing if y'all was dealing with her and she was healthy. Y'all are coming at this woman while she is sick.
That's too much. They doing too much. All right, y'all. Let's get ready to get out of here. It's 8 o'clock. I don't know what reviews y'all gonna get today, but y'all gonna get some, because I'm behind. I'm still trying to get caught up. We had Married at First Sight last night. I got Sisters from last night. Hell, I still ain't done Real Housewives of Atlanta from Sunday night. We talked about it here, but I haven't uploaded my review. And then tonight we got the T.S. Madison Experience, which I'll be reviewing. We have The Retreat comes on tonight, and something else comes on Thursday nights that's escaping my brain. So y'all gonna get some stuff tonight. I just don't know what it is. What you got coming up, y'all?
None.
You don't have Growing Up Hip Hop tonight?
I ain't watching it in 2 weeks. I might watch it, but I ain't reviewing that no more because it's just way too much. It's draining.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I stopped doing Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. One, the storylines were draining, and two, the numbers weren't that good. People weren't watching the reviews, so I was like, I ain't gonna suffer through the show, and ain't nobody gonna watch the reviews. Now, LA is better.
Yeah.
Definitely better. The storylines are definitely give you a little bit more. Last season they got on my nerves with that whole Angela, Master P, Romeo storyline. That really irritated me a lot.
You know, with that whole I can't stand ever since then. Like when I tell you I don't support nothing Master P, and it's kind of upsetting that. Granted, I'm not gonna get clown anybody for support him because I get it. He's African American. We're African American. Let's try to uplift our own. But I can't support someone that clearly said on national television that he would have taken advantage of Angela in her most, down and out state when she lost her baby daddy. Like, you really just said on television that you would have taken advantage of this woman in a vulnerable state, and you think that is cool?
The problem that I had, I'm gonna add that. Yes, I have a problem with that. But the problem that I had with that as well was y'all sitting here coming for this woman because of the way that she poses on Instagram, but your son don't never have a shirt on. But Angela posting in a bikini. Angela posts. I mean, yeah, she be putting some thirst traps up on her Instagram, but has she ever carried herself? Angela Simmons, for whether you like her or whether you don't like her, she has never carried herself out in these streets as a thought. She just hasn't. So yeah, she got a nice body and she shows it off on her Instagram. But for them, you've been friends with this girl in real life. Y'all were friends in real life because that's how y'all even came up with the show together. Y'all were friends in real life. And now for whatever reason, you mad at her or however the situation went down. And now you are taking that and y'all are throwing that back at her like she should be ashamed. That woman is damn near 30, if not already 30, and a whole mama. If she want to wear a bikini picture on her Instagram, for them to throw it out there like she should be ashamed of that, but it's okay for Romeo, number one, for Romeo to have a different woman in a bikini on his Instagram every week. And two, he don't never have a shirt on. That bothered me. That bothered me. I
just want to mention what DC said. Mind you, why is Master P involved in those young people's business? Look, I'm gonna be the one to say that is because we all know that Romeo does not have the vocabulary, the aptitude, the ability to sit here and formulate intelligent sentences. Okay, he can't. And whenever he talks, if y'all pay attention, he is stumbling over his words where his father has to come in and, take over. So that's why.
Well, the other problem too is if you go back and you look at the first couple of seasons of Growing Up Hip Hop, you never saw the parents. Every once in a while, they will make a cameo. But somewhere around, I think season 3, I guess they felt like they needed to bring the parents in more to carry the show or whatever. That's when you started seeing Pep. That's when you started seeing Damon Dash. That's when you started seeing Master P more often. And you even starting to see Reverend Ron. He's been in a couple of episodes these last season or two. Because they done added all of the Simmons churn to the show now. All the Simmons churn is on the show now. So I don't know if that was a conscious thing that they did, that they consciously brought the parents on to give them more of a storyline, or if that was something that evolved organically because they needed them to sort of carry the show. But I agree, Master P, I need you to go sit down because I'm with you, y'all. I really lost a lot of respect for him, the way they carried that last season. Again, it seemed like they had beef with production because they didn't want to go along with the whole Romeo Angela storyline anymore. I get it. It was played. We were tired of it too, production. We were tired of the storyline too, but I just feel like the way that Master P and Romeo
handle it
handled it, I had a problem with.
Because I mean, because if they were upset about it, do you know how, like, unless they were still contractually obligated, despite the fact that I know Master P is an EP and I believe Romeo's an EP as well. So you mean to tell me that y'all couldn't just be like, you know what? Thank you, we're done. We'll just stay behind the scenes because we don't want to continue to perpetuate this. And at the same exact time, I'm gonna be the one to say it. I'm gonna say it in a roundabout way. Compared to all the people that Romeo tends to have on his social media and the people that he have quote unquote dated, but you want us to sit here and believe that you really sweating Angela like that? All right, okay.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like we were tired of the storyline too. Let's be clear. I mean, because I'll be honest with you, I ain't want to sit through not another season of the Angela Romeo story. I really didn't. But my thing is this: if Angela, who was also an EP and one of the creators, because I believe her and Romeo were like the creators or co-creators, or they took the idea to WeTV. I put it like that. If Angela still had to film the season her baby daddy was killed, and they still made her ass film, sir, you can show up and film too. And we know that WeTV is notorious for having these crazy ass contracts. I mean, the Braxtons and talked about it, and some of these other people. So I ain't gonna put it past WeTV that, you know, Romeo and Master P didn't want to film and they was making them film. That's fine.
Now
still you handle it. It's still a way to handle it.
I want to say two things. One, y'all see how we really just paid Atlanta does, but two, I really, really, really wanted to see a scene with Master P and Dame Dash going there, because the way that Master P came at Boogie when Boogie is talking to Ron and brought a whole entourage, and you literally talking to him, trying to sun him.
A lot too.
Like, I'm sitting back just like, how you talking to this? How you talking to him like that? Like, you know damn well you would never talk to his daddy like that. You know his daddy would 2-piece your ass to the motherfucking dome right quick. Like, that's what I want to see. Like, you want to bring the parents on. That is a scene that I wanted to see.
Yeah, because the way he came down, the way they came at Boogie was wrong. It was real wrong. It was wrong.
And then Romeo had to bring in a whole entourage. Like, when I tell you the bitch assness that was exuding from my damn screen, I'm like,
that was a lot.
That
whole thing was a lot.
Like, I know you're not a hood dude, but whatever. And one last thing is, I'm real iffy about growing up hip hop Atlanta because Kibbles and Bits, who I call that's Bow Wow for y'all, how he got on social media and pretty much clowned Andrea Kelly.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not watching the show, but you know, Bow Wow is one of those R. Kelly supporters, defenders, I'll say. And he has made comments that I think is very disrespectful as it relates to R. Kelly and the women and his victims. Whether you believe R. Kelly is guilty or not, some of the comments that he's made, you know, he's one of those people that's like, I worked with R. Kelly and he was this and he was that now and this and this and this and that. And I'm like, I'd rather you just go sit down and just be quiet because you wouldn't know. Like you wouldn't know. Andrea Kelly, yeah, and I did see that. I thought that was very disrespectful. I don't know what happened that precipitated that text, that tweet, or whatever it was. I don't know. But and then he gonna put at the end, don't forget I'm still your boss. Boy, if you don't go sit down somewhere. You don't control nothing down to the growing up hip hop. Let's be clear.
You know he has Napoleon syndrome.
I mean, you an EP, but then we just had that whole conversation about Romeo and Angela being EPs, and they still had the film. So, boy, go sit down somewhere.
Well, this goes back to what we said with the whole Mariah Huck thing, where they probably are getting paid more on the front end, meaning that you are probably more of a glorified EP, if anything else, or you might have very little say so in what is actually done because you want the paper rather than getting paid less and having more of a creative control over what is being put out, who is being hired, and how things are being structured. And when it comes to Kibbles and Biz, look, bro, the fact that you have to sit here and bounce between franchises lets us know that your pockets are hurting. So, sir, yeah, you might be somebody's boss, but I'm pretty sure you need this check more than Andrea Kelly. Now, I don't see it for Andrea Kelly, not at all. But at the same exact time, this is a woman who has a skill set, and she has still continued to work. You burned yourself out with the little bit of talent that you have, and because you can't sit here and do an album that is just reflective of what you're going through, but you want to sit here and abuse women and use women to sit here and try to sell an album. How dare you? How
Yeah.
dare you? And again,
Yeah.
and to speak
Absolutely.
to the men who are watching this, we really do need to do a better job of protecting the gatekeepers of our community, which is the women. We need to do a better job of that. And for any women that is even remotely messing with Bow, if you see the way that he is talking to this grown adult woman, shows you that he don't have respect for women, period, because his mother is right in that same boat. But you're sitting here going for this grown woman who ain't said nor done anything to you. And even if she did, why are you doing that?
Right.
Like, seriously.
And DC,
I'm sorry.
Businessman, I have the utmost respect for Master P as a businessman. I lost a lot of respect for him on how he carried himself last season with as it relates. And again, even if it was on screen stuff, I'd be like, okay, well, it's all for the show. It's all production. But no, he carried his ass down to the Breakfast Club and talked shit. No, he went on his Twitter and was talking shit. No, this was very much who he is and how he felt. And for that, I lost a lot of respect. For that, I lost a lot of respect for him. So if it was just something that stayed just to the show, I could be like, it was for the show. You know what I mean? But no, nah. But as a businessman, yeah, I got respect for him. I ain't gonna take nothing from him as that. But I mean, that's just like R. Kelly. Hell yeah, he's a hell of a musician, but I still think he's a sexual predator. I mean, I think he's a musical genius, but I still think he's a sexual predator. The both things
can exist at the same time.
Okay, but yeah, after I saw that they were going to use this whole Dab Atney is a Trump supporter thing and exploit that as a storyline. For me, I was like, yeah, I got to tap out, because for me it just wasn't a joke. For me, it wasn't a joke. It wasn't a storyline. Like, I felt like in that moment, that election was too important.
Yeah.
Too serious for us to be playing storyline games with somebody being a Trump supporter. And then the fact that you couldn't even articulate your reasoning why, that was because it'd be different if somebody could tell me why. I ain't saying I had to agree with it. But if you like, even who was it? It was one of them people, one of these dummies talking about, well, you know, my taxes. You know what? I ain't gotta like it or agree with it, but at least you got a reason.
Yeah. Like when I was in the military, like I said to a lot of people, like, I'm not mad at any service member that votes for him. Mind you, some of it might be racially charged, but for a lot of them, they were like, well, why? I'm like, because historically, every president does give the military a little bit of an increase in money. Trump actually gave one of the biggest increases.
Right.
So, and he promised that. So if you're in the military, you are worried about your bottom line, putting food on your table for you and your family. So if you know that this candidate is going to give you more money, you're not worried about the rest of America. You're worried about the little, bubble that you exist in. So stuff like that, I can understand it, because they can articulate it like, cool, okay, if that's why you voted for him, cool. Now, if you can't tell me why, then it's just like, okay, so
right. Well, that's
now
just
I'm raising an eyebrow.
That's just like people who are in his tax bracket and he gave those enormous tax cuts to. Hell, if I'm Steve, not Steve Jobs, I'm sorry, rest in peace. Bezos, fucking Amazon didn't pay no damn taxes. If I'm running $1 billion company and I'm not paying taxes, yeah, I'm good.
And was still stealing money from his employees.
And that doesn't mean that I agree with it, but at least be like, well, I understand why you did it. I ain't gotta like it or agree with it, but I can understand it.
Well, that it isn't what really turned me off with Deb. It's the fact that for you to be a businesswoman and for this particular project you're trying to do, you have handled the business horrendously. That is what turns me off, where I can't believe that your lawyer ain't speak to other people's lawyers, where y'all don't have some of this stuff mapped out. You don't have a name for this project. You want people to just sit here and lend themselves to a project. Because for those of y'all who watch R&B Divas, the original, when Faith Evans asked all the women to come and do this one project with her, and all the women thought that they were collectively on this album, yet when it was the Grammys or whatever, and they found out that no, it was Faith Evans featuring, meaning that whole project was all Faith Evans and not the other women. This leaves me in that same mindset of, this is what you want. You're trying to make money off these people's backs, but you ain't doing paperwork right. You ain't got stuff laid out and mapped out. That's what is annoying to me.
Right, but that's why when you look at Deb Atney and you look at how she can't hold on to none of her artists. I mean, the fact that Nicki Minaj, your own son don't have you representing him. I mean, Deb Atney had some of the top performers come through her hands.
Yep, Nicki Minaj, French Montana, Yo Son, just to name 3.
Right. And it was another one that's I can't think off the top of my head, not Future, but one of them. Like I always get them mixed up. I don't know them people. But yeah, like ma'am. So that lets you know right there that you could not grow and evolve for what they needed you to grow and evolve into, and they left you in the dust.
And plus, she lied in her confessional talking about some, Brad wasn't supposed to know about this, and I wanted to get all the youngins together to create something and then bring them on. Like you said that in your confessional, yet just in the scene prior, you're literally standing there saying, yeah, all of y'all gonna work on the record. You Bow and Brad. Something ain't that like, and then you lie. That's the other thing. Like, why are you lying in our face like this? That's why y'all ain't got a review. And I didn't even watch the last 2 damn episodes. I was just like, you know what? My energy meter, it just depleted for this damn show.
I get it. Listen, I get it. All right, y'all, let me get out of here for real. So y'all gonna get some reviews tonight. I just don't know which ones they gonna be because it's gonna all be about what I look at. I need to get Atlanta off my back because I feel like I did the live review, but I really need to do the review. I know what it is. It's not in my DVR anymore, and so I need to make sure that I have everything I want to talk about. But I'll take care of that. I ain't promised it'll be today, but it'll be today or tomorrow. I hate making promises and then they get other things and they be like, "You said."
Yeah.
I'm like, 25 reviews, but you said Atlanta, so I don't want to say Atlanta.
And Cameron gave you a list of everybody that she represented.
Cameron, thank you. Hold on. Gucci Mane. Yeah, I knew it was one of them. Thank you, thank you, Cameron. And that's what I was talking about. Gucci Mane. Right. Walker, Nicki, French. Exactly. Hello. Can you imagine your 10% of Nicki Minaj alone? Hello.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and close this out. But I'm gonna say this: you couldn't even be a Mona Scott Young. Yeah, Mona Scott Young used to have Missy back in the day, but look what she was able to leverage off of that, right? And how she's had multiple businesses, franchises, and everything else. And what do you have? Growing up hip hop. So with that being said, I'll let Really Be close us out right there. Yes. That was a shady moment.
Thank you guys for being here again. We did our review and more. I'm gonna just start putting etc. at the end of the title because we always drift off, but we usually keep it to reality TV, so we always drift off. But thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate it. If you are not subscribed, please make sure you have subscribed to myself and YahCraTes' channel. If you can find it the way it's spelled right up there.
Even though she spelled my name wrong in the title of this video, but yeah. How it's spelled right here, right there. Yeah.
I'll fix it. DC, I'm gonna have to get with the rest of the Justice League and I'll let you know. We'll put something together though, but I have to get with the rest of the Justice League and we'll come up with something. Tomorrow night, somebody asked me about Queen Sugar earlier. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna talk to El Teddy and Ebby about doing a TV. No, it won't be tomorrow night. Maybe we're going to talk about Queen Sugar sometime this weekend. Because tomorrow night, I can't guarantee tomorrow night. I have to talk to them. But we will get to Queen Sugar later on this weekend. And I will see y'all later. Peace. I forgot I